Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Sonny Thadani. Sonny Thadani co-founded Robin with Scott Farber to bring the power of human connection to schools through coaches like those who so greatly impacted him. Sonny's coaches help destigmatize the mental health conversations by creating safe spaces in schools for all students to be able to open up about their challenges, support each other, and ask for help when they need it. Well, good afternoon, Sonny. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you having me this morning.
You're very welcome, and I appreciate you making the time to jump on today. Love these things. Again, talk to many people around the world on a regular basis, almost daily. And I appreciate the time that you were able to connect with Philcom Global and get on the podcast. So thank you. So, Sonny, we're going to jump right into the questions here. You've got quite the career in finance, private equity. You were a senior executive partner, but now you're the co-founder and CEO of Robin. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Sure. Well, thank you for asking. And yeah, I feel I've been pretty lucky in my career, personally and professionally, and I'll tie that in. And I would say it's, a lot of people talk about doing what you love, and I absolutely agree with that. But the second or third degree of that is doing it with people you really enjoy being with, that inspire you, that push you. And as you mentioned, my first sort of career at Accordion, I was surrounded by some of my best friends, people that I trusted. They pushed me, I pushed them, and it allowed me to excel and experience different types of things in building something. And building something is just this wonderful experience. And when it starts to work, it even makes it that much more appealing. So in my career, I think one of the secrets is surround yourself with amazing people. And it sounds easy to say that, but it's really difficult. And amazing doesn't mean the best and the smartest necessarily. It means the right person at the right time. In a young company's life cycle, you want to hire the right person who's going to be in the trenches, who's not afraid to roll up his or her sleeves with you. And as you start maturing as an organization, you start bringing in people to help you scale and help you with that maturation process. So I feel very fortunate in my first go around with Accordion and now with Robin. I've been able to partner with amazing people, again, right place, right time, to help bring Robin to the forefront of mental health and education.
Thank you. And I appreciate you talking about that people part of it. Many people get on here and talk about it. At the core of it, it's the people. And that totally makes a difference. So I appreciate you sharing that piece of it. So, Sonny, we're going to switch gears a tad. We're going to go into more about Robin here. You've got a positive story on how schools around the country have partnered with you and your company to improve students' mental health, well-being, and social emotional development. Can maybe you share some of the success with your program?
Sure. I think some of the early successes we've had is really with our core customer, and that's the student. And I recall early on, about 2 years ago, that a student reached out to us. This was almost our first inbound blind email that came our way to info@myrobin.com. And a student said, I heard about what you did at a high school in New York City in the Upper West Side, and I'd like you to bring that to my school. And I was shocked by just a young person reaching out and recognizing that there's a challenge and an issue. And 24 hours later, this student looped in the principal, the head of the Parents Association, and the school counselor at the time to talk openly and honestly about what we did, what was a challenge, and how Robin can help solve that challenge at that school community. And we were in that school 24 hours later, supporting them. And some of our early successes are driven by students and the outcomes and providing them with skill sets and to be more preventative. There are so many wonderful solutions out there in the world trying to address the mental well-being and mental wellness of school communities, including parents, educators, and students. And what Robin does is try to get ahead of that, to identify skill sets that students and educators are going to need no matter what life throws at them. Because I don't know what's going to affect your kids or my kids or a school students. I do know that equipping them with things like resiliency and mindfulness and how to make better decisions in those situations is going to help them get through those challenges. So some of the early success we're seeing are students using some of these practices in real terms. A lot of our content, a lot of what we do is put in practical terms. So I use the word resilience and mindfulness. They're being thrown around everywhere, it seems. But to put those in practical terms, hey, what do you do when you have FOMO? Or you didn't make varsity sports, or your parents got divorced, things that happened to me as a high schooler, and not having these skill sets was really difficult for me. And now equipping young men and women with these skill sets to deal with those life challenges in a fun, engaging way is starting to show real sustainable impact.
Thank you. And I appreciate you highlighting some of that. We probably heard this before. When a child's born, it doesn't come with an owner's manual. And as you grow into adolescent adulthood, there's not something that you can refer to. So I appreciate you sharing this. I think it's important that our audience hears this. Thank you. So, Sonny, we're a technology platform and publication, so we do focus on tech primarily. But we want to know if maybe you're leveraging any new or emerging tech in your business. And if not, maybe you found a cool tool or app you could share with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, technology is going to help us solve this and be part of the solution. And part of what Robin has done well, and again, one of the reasons we've seen this success is how do you integrate technology and the human-centric approach? And what we did early on, Brian, as a young company, getting into schools and trying to get our product and our service out there, was partner with a LMS, a learning management system called Canvas, which is owned by Instructure. They have an absolutely wonderful platform, and I'm not sure how familiar you are with it, but almost 50% of the schools and higher ed, universities and colleges in this country use this as a platform. So not only is it well developed and well known, but it gives students, teachers just a easy insight into how to use this type of technology and curriculum. Robin has an online curriculum that we use for K through 12. And one of the things I learned early on working with schools is technology is key, but simplicity in that technology is key. So having a solution and a user interface that is easy to navigate, right? Most teachers in this country have 42 minutes in a class period. They need to get the content up, teach, let the students work on it, and then talk about it. They need to access things quickly and efficiently. And partnering with an LMS early on was, to me, one of the right decisions we made to not only give, again, that credibility and validation, but to empower the educator and the staff at the school to have an easy solution with great content, which Robin provided.
Thank you. And you're right. The technology needs to be easy to navigate, easy to use, so that you can focus on your primary skill or activity. So, Sonny, last question here. We want to know, could you possibly share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those looking to grow their career in coaching or entrepreneurship?
Yeah, absolutely. And something I try to do consistently, and a colleague of mine and one of my coaches put this in my head a number of years ago, almost about 10 years. As an entrepreneur and working in an organization that's evolving, that means you have to evolve. So no matter what your title, CEO or VP or director, every year you look for you fire your old self and you hire your new self. Even though your title might stay the same, what are new things that you can do to push yourself to be the better X? So if you're working on sales and marketing, how do you do that in a more efficient or more measurable way? So you fire yourself. You think about all the things that you did and how do you do them better and more effectively and efficiently in the next year? Not only does it keep you and the organization moving, but we use this word growth and the growth mindset. Well, you can only grow if you're evolving and you're pushing yourself and you're trying something new. And to me, that was some critical ingredient to seeing success, because you can hire as much as you can try to hire, but you only have one team member called yourself. And the ability to fire yourself and rehire yourself that following year, maybe you can do it every 6 months, every 12 months, and start something new and do it better, stronger, faster, just gets you sort of reignited in an opportunity that, frankly, is the possibilities are limitless at that point. And I encourage everybody to think about their role and think about how it can evolve proactively without waiting for their boss or their board or their colleagues to tell them. Think about that and be proactive in that way. I strongly recommend it. It's not an easy task, but it certainly helps you put you in that growth mindset.
Thank you. And I appreciate those gems. It's very insightful, obviously. First, you have to have that self-awareness. But once you do, having that, like you said, be proactive will absolutely help that growth much faster. So, Sonny, thank you again. It was a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Awesome, Brian. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Bye for now.